Hello, everybody. Michelle Sock with Wilson Realty, and today I'm joined by Tammy Stowe with Atlantic Bay Mortgage. We're going to have a couple of discussions today, but first I want to introduce you to her and have her tell you a little bit about herself and her company, and then we'll just jump right in. So go ahead, Tammy. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks so much, Michelle. I appreciate it. Hey guys, this is Tammy Stowe. I'm a senior loan officer with Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. I've been in the business since 2004, so I've seen the industry change quite a bit. I started with Atlantic Bay. It'll be 4 years in January in 2021. Probably one of the best moves I've ever made. A company that has really, I've taken the industry and grown with it, and especially with the changes that we've had over the last few months with the interesting times that we're living in. They've really put forth an effort to make things move as smoothly as they can. One of the greatest things that I am actually blessed with is I have my own closer, my own underwriter, my own processor, and a team that works with me. So they work with me throughout the process. So it's not like I get this underwriter or that underwriter. It's the same underwriter all the time. And we all work together. And believe it or not, she does not work in a dark hole, and I can call her and talk to her if I need to. The other thing that I think really and truly sets us apart is if there is an issue with a loan, the underwriter has to call and talk to me first before they can ever deny the loan, suspend the loan, or what have you, so that we can talk through it to see if there's ways to make it work or to fix what is going on. We do upfront underwrites, and what I mean by that is when you talk to me about your loan process or your loan application, I am going to take you directly into underwriting, directly to conditional approval, whether you have a property identified or not. And what that does is basically takes all the guesswork out of your approval, and it also kind of sets things up for you for when you are making offers. Sellers are going to look at conditional commitments before they look at pre-qualifications.
Perfect. So since we did kind of just segue into the pre-approval, fully approved, stuff like that, go ahead and talk to us a little bit about what it means and what the difference is between being pre-qualified, which I know a lot of people just do, versus pre-approved versus fully approved. And then we'll kind of talk about how those different processes affect the buyer and their capability when placing an offer.
Absolutely, be happy to. Okay, pre-qualification is really nothing other than a credit pull. I've pulled your credit, looked at it, you told me what price points you want to buy, you've told me the money that you make, everything looks good, you're okay. That really means nothing. Because until we actually see pay stubs, bank statements, W-2s, things like that, it's really hard to know that you truly do qualify for that purchase price or for that loan program, because each programs require different type of information. So a pre-qual is, you called me on Saturday morning, I pulled your credit, you told me how much money you make, and it's like, yeah, you're going to be okay, but we've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it's almost like you just have to trust what they're saying even at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of times folks will fill out applications online, and I've seen where especially in overtime and bonus, they'll say that they make $5,000 a month in bonus. Well, in reality, it's $5,000 a year in bonus. So I have to be very careful, especially when I'm looking at online apps, to make sure that, I ask those questions once I call the customer back to let them know, just to verify that that's good. But I mean, one missed zero can change the total dynamic of the approval that or the pre-qualification I've provided. The next step on that would be the pre-approval. And basically what that is in our website, which it's fantastic. You can complete the application, and it's also a secured portal for you to upload your documents into. You can link your bank statements. You can pull in your taxes. You can put your W-2s. You can even actually link to ADP to pull in your pay stubs. It's very user-friendly, and a lot of times if you put in your employment, it will automatically populate the address. So it's very user-friendly. And if you have put that information in the portal, then I'm able to pull that information in, do a quick look over it, make sure that the income that you've told me is okay, excuse me, things like that. Then I run it through what's called AUS, which is called an automated underwriting system. That is typically what gives our underwriters their guideline to underwrite your file too. So if I run it through AUS and it gives me an approve eligible, then I can give you a pre-approval that says, hey, I've looked at your income, I've looked at your bank statements, I've kind of done a pretty good review of what you've told me, and yes, I think this client is good to go. That's your pre-approval. The one that really has the most credence is your conditional commitment. And that's where I'm going to get all of the information that is needed to underwrite your file. I'm going to send out a DocuSign package for you to sign that says it's okay to process my file. I'm going to get written verifications of employment. I'm going to verify that you've got the money in the bank and all of that. Then it goes to the underwriter, and the underwriter is going to say, stamp of approval, you're good to go. You make an offer on a home, we get items that are needed for a clear to close, you're done, all questions are answered, and everything's great.
Yeah. So in that situation, definitely having you're fine. Definitely having that conditional approval is going to have the most benefit when placing an offer, specifically if it's a multiple offer situation, but also it's going to be able to allow that buyer to close in a lot shorter of a time frame. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what is your time frames that you're seeing closing, especially with COVID? Is there any delays in the process, or the pre-approval versus conditional approval? What kind of time difference is that for closing?
Right now, my underwriter is on about 72 hours. From the time the file submitted to her to the conditional commitment. Takes about a week to get all of the information in. So typically about 7 to 10 days, we can have the conditional commitment ready for you. The one thing that we are having to do with COVID is right before closing, we have to verify that you're still working with either a verbal verification of employment or getting an updated pay stub.
Sure.
If for some reason during the process you are furloughed from your job, we cannot close until you have at least 30 days of pay stubs. So we can work with you on all of that, but if that furlough happens, once you go back to work, I have to get 30 more days of pay stubs before they'll allow you to close.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
Very cool. Is there anything else that you have to add to that? And is there anything that you've been seeing that really is affecting the difference between the pre-approval and the conditional approval? Or could you give any advice on like exactly what documents that you look for in that situation?
The documents that are needed for the process are 30 days of pay stubs, 2 months bank statements, last 2 years W-2s. And then, the big thing that we want to know is where your down payment money's coming from. I think the one area of folks that's really being affected right now are your self-employed borrowers. If you are self-employed right now, they are asking for profit and loss statements for each month.
Oh, wow.
Through the year. So, so sorry. January today, 30 profit and loss year to date, and they're wanting bank statements to substantiate what you're claiming for receipts.
Wow.
So that the self-employed borrower is the one that's being affected the most through all of this.
Gotcha. So definitely be in contact with you or whoever their preferred lender is, and really talk through the process if they're a self-employed borrower and wanting to make sure that they have everything they need for you.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Sounds great. All right, Tammy, well, it was great speaking with you, and we'll see you on our next video. But for now, we will take a little break.
Sounds great. Thank you. And hopefully I won't be coughing through the next one. Thanks so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.